I was so hungry. I would wake up in the middle of the night and I would sleep lying face down, curled up in a ball to make the hunger stop. As hungry as I was, I didn't enjoy food as much as I am now. I was in really great shape. But then when everything was kind of like crumbling, I stopped lifting weight and I was like, hey, the scale's going down. Who needs to lift weights anymore, right? And I know now it's all muscle loss, but I just didn't realize how weak I was. I just didn't honor what my body needed. Regret it big time. When I was younger and a teenager, I was about twice my size, and I was diagnosed with PCOS and all these other ailments. And instead of taking the drugs they gave me, I decided, no, I'm going to look into what causes PCOS, because like being told you can't have your own kids was huge. And I didn't want to be the heavy girl. I remember this teenager in the high school library said, fat girl in a little coat, because it didn't fit me.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was like right then and there, I decided to change my life. And little did I know how important or like effective intermittent fasting was, but I would have breakfast, I would have lunch, and I skipped dinner. It was very effective. I started running then, and I ended up, losing weight. I was a good, maybe like 120 pounds, looked healthy. I was married before I could legally drink alcohol. We adopted kids. Craig got sick. At that point, before we were adopting, or when we were, I was doing in body pump. Do you know that class?
Mm-hmm.
Like the YMCA. I loved it. Like I had all my friends were there. It was like a big hangout, and then we would go have tea afterwards. It was super fun. But I never missed a class. Like I would forego like going on vacation just because I didn't want to miss a class, because I just loved it.
At what age was that time frame going down?
Like 30.
That was all you'd been doing, like carnivore at that point, right? Like you'd been doing intermittent fasting in the beginning.
I'm sorry. I've been keto since for 28 and a half years now. So at like 16, that's when I started cutting out carbohydrates, sugar. What did I call it keto then? No, it was like Atkins, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it worked. It worked great. And I lost the weight, and then I started lifting weights and running. I did marathons before I had kids, and they're now 15, 16, and 14. So I was in really great shape at that point. But then when everything was kind of like crumbling, I stopped lifting weight and I was like, hey, the scale's going down. Who needs to lift weights anymore, right? Like, this is great. I know now it's all muscle loss.
Mm-hmm.
I even lost the muscle in my face because, your heart is always turning over, your liver's always turning over. And if you're not consuming enough protein, it's going to take your muscles and use it to repair parts of your body. So I just didn't honor what my body needed. I regret it big time. I was talking to my kids about what I'm going through, and I'm like, yeah, you know how mom lost a lot of weight? And my youngest is like, yeah. So it's not an overnight process. It was years to get to the point that I was. But I just didn't realize how weak I was. And I never want to get there. What happened was, this past February, it's not sick. It's not bad to get sick. The flu happens, right? Colds happen. So my kids got the flu, and then I got the flu, and it went away, but I was really nauseous. Like my favorite foods I didn't like. And then all of a sudden, like I wasn't able to move my body to the point where Craig had to spoon feed me because I couldn't. It's like my brain wouldn't work. Like I wanted to lift the spoon, but I couldn't. So I laid in bed and he fed me. I ended up in the ICU 3 times. Massive electrolyte imbalance. I mean, things were just shutting down. And that wasn't on purpose. I was so sick. And like Craig said, you didn't have a reserve.
Yeah.
Most people have a buffer. It's like you had nothing and got to a really low weight. But what's really twisted is like, even though I was sick, it was a high. And when I say that, I've said it on my YouTube video about it. So many people reached out. They're like, it is a high. No matter what, like it's such a high to see that number go down. And I'm determined to make it a high to see it go up. I have my favorite clothes hanging. So, I mean, I do think like the scale is data. I get it. So I do use that, but it's not my high anymore. I like the data, and then I go and try on a shirt that I'd never wear because it was low cut and you can see all my bones. And so still to this day, I'll try it on and be like, that number is too low, right? So I just keep going and feeding myself well. And I appreciate everybody's kindness because I didn't realize so many people would be so awesome and reaching out and realizing that a lot of people in this community deal with the same thing.
A lot of people, and it's not nearly talked about enough. There's like this taboo around it. It's super common in like bodybuilding circles. I mean, it's more often the case than not that competitive athletes have, issues with this post show. I mean, I had all kinds of issues post show for the first 3 or 4 years of my competitive journey. And it's taken me a long time to overcome all that. When it comes to you, like you're using the scale for data, which I think is absolutely the right way to look at it. Like it's not a good or bad thing. It's just simply a data point that you can leverage. What were you at your lowest? Did you weigh in then?
Yeah. 83 pounds.
83 pounds. And how tall are you?
5'2".
5'2". My grandmother, I just talked to her yesterday. It was her birthday yesterday. I think she turned 86. And she's like been losing weight in an unhealthy rate because she just doesn't eat enough. And my mom is now keto carnivore. She's been there for 3 years now, and like she'll go over there, cook her a bunch of food, and talked to her last night. And she's up to 115 now because she had got down to 100. And she's tall, like she's taller than me, but she's just lost a whole bunch of weight, and you could just see she has no buffer, no reserve, no energy to do just day-to-day stuff. So she's on the same quest, and it's cool to see her get excited about the scale going up. I mean, people always associate, like on social media could be a double-edged sword for sure, as you and I both know, but like it's in the bodybuilding realm, people only post when they're shredded. They only post when the scale hits a new low, when their body fat's leaner. And it's like there's a yin yang that has to happen here. In order to optimize for one, you got to optimize for the other. So like people need to appreciate the other side of the spectrum just as much because it's equally, if not more so important.
Well, especially females, we're not meant to be that low body fat. We're just not. If like when things are shutting down and not working anymore, that means it's your body's shutting down. It's telling you something's wrong when it's not working the way it should. And I want people to feel okay to eat. You know what's so funny? Like I was so hungry. I would wake up in the middle of the night and I would sleep lying face down, curled up in a ball to make the hunger stop. Like how pathetic is that?
Mm-hmm.
And as hungry as I was, I didn't enjoy food as much as I am now. And I'm not one to reverse diet and eat donuts, or I know there's people that do that. I don't even crave that stuff anymore. But the food I am making, like I have like a steak and scallops ready when I'm done with this. I enjoy it so much. It's like I wasn't allowing myself to even enjoy that flavor or something. I don't know what the twistedness is.
So I know this is a sensitive subject, so don't feel like you have to discuss anything you don't want to, but a lot of people, especially on social, I mean, you get a lot of positive comments and feedback and support and encouragement, but people can also be brutal and just ruthless. Were you getting like a lot of commentary around like disordered eating or anorexia or like How did you respond to any of that?
Yeah, I stopped. Here's the thing. I'm going to be honest. I stopped being in charge of my social media when the comments were starting to roll in, maybe a couple years ago. So there's one of my coaches, she handles everything. So I don't even look at comments anymore, but it's almost hard not to see them. I'm not doing it for those people. Those
Yeah.
people can go, like, they don't know me. They don't know the struggles I deal with. They can go away. That's not why I'm doing it. What happened was I walk with a friend, and she doesn't have social media. She is she wouldn't wear dyed clothes. Like, she's a super hippie. Like, I love her dearly. She's the biggest carnivore I know. Healthiest carnivore. And I told her about the story, what happened in February. And with tears going down her face, she's like, "Do you want to die?" And it like hit me like, I am totally killing myself. And that was the day.
Yeah.
That was the day it changed. Yeah.
What do you think the like your relationship with food, your consumption in general, like do you think that was like the disordered eating, or do you think you were simply like eating the right foods but you were just sick and so stressed that your body wasn't absorbing ample nutrition? Like what do you think was happening
I was
there?
eating the right foods, but it was also my control. My life was out of control, right? Like, I couldn't get Craig healthy. I couldn't, like, you know, I love my children. But being thrown into a world where these two little, like, creatures need you all the time is like, whoa, like, it was a lot, right? And I think that was the only thing I could control. So that's what I controlled, you know? I don't even think it was about anything else but control.
Yeah. It's tough. Like Crystal we just had a second kid, 2 weeks ago. And
Oh,
like
I didn't know that. Congratulations.
yeah, appreciate it. And she's like always been super fit and trains and done powerlifting and bodybuilding. And like she hasn't been able to work out like she normally does for the past, several weeks. And like she's recovering right now. Like just now cleared to like walk and go out and be more mobile.
Yeah.
And like for us, training and subjecting our body to the stressors like that is like our therapy. Like that is literally, health for us, mentally healthy. And when you're a mother, as she is and as you are, it's like it's so easy to be incredibly selfless because so many people need things from you. I mean, I don't know how she does it. Like she's got a baby in one arm. She's tackling my son Rigel, who's 3 years old, just all over the place, ballistic, and like trying to keep on top of the house and cooking and cleaning. And it's like the working out and sitting down and having your own hot meal. Like that's just not even on your radar.
That's when I stopped. That's when I stopped sitting and having a meal, because we're getting a little personal here, but like, my children were starving in Ethiopia. They literally were starving. So when food came, my older one would get really happy about meals, and the younger one would scream for more, just like scream. And it was so stressful. And I had to teach this child that food will always be there. But he would eat so much he'd puke. Like, so I stopped sitting down to have a meal. And that was a very, very pivotal moment. And he is like the light of my life now. But when he was a baby, it was terrible.
Yeah.
But, you know, he's the best kid ever. He's the one that does a lot of my taste testing.
Yeah, I see all the pictures. They're always, I mean, they make your food look all the better. They've always got a big smile on their face for sure.
Thank you. Yeah. But it is very hard to be a mother. And now that my kids are teens, I mean, I want to live to see their kids. And like you said, therapy, like getting in the gym is my joy. Like, I feel awesome. I just feel just better than I ever have. But then again, I can't please everybody because, oh, you're working out too much. Well, like, do you see what I'm doing every day? Like, you have no idea. It's just when I post a picture or a video where I'm wearing a weighted vest, like less is more. I'm like, I went to college for exercise physiology. Did you know that? I know my stuff. Like
Yeah.
I don't need your feedback. I understand. And I'm gaining healthy weight, not just muscle. There's some fat going on too. Don't worry about it. But it's like always something critical. It drives me nuts.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't make everybody happy and you'll kill yourself trying. And like at the end of the day, because I mean, I'm a bodybuilder, I'm on stage. Like that's a very selfish sport, so to speak. I mean, like when I'm in prep, like I, Crystal has to sacrifice a lot when I'm in prep. And that's kind of the extreme. But it's easy, especially as a mother, to think, okay, I'm going to be the most selfless person possible, help my kids first and foremost, make sure they've got everything they need. But then it becomes very easy to like not, do what you need for yourself, not train, not eat. And like I've had to figure out my mental approach to that for myself, but then also help Crystal with it. And it's like, the better you are, I mean, you don't need to be in the gym for 6 hours and like doing all that stuff, but like prioritizing your health, having that time set aside, carved out where you have non-negotiables to focus on improving you is going to make you so much better for everybody else. And at the end of the day, I view it as the most selfless option if it's done with the right intentions.
They tell you to put your mask on first on a plane for a reason, right?